I got kind of woken up in that sense. I suddenly just opened my eyes and then, like blurry eyes, right? This weird ghastly thing, like it's just on top of me.
And we are
not live.
I like how you always do it now.
It's 13th of March. You know what that means? It's another episode of Dead Air.
Yeah.
And today we actually have a guest.
Very special guest.
As opposed to just the two of us talking, it's an actual special guest today.
Yep.
Again, sorry, we're gonna have to leave you just like in the center now.
It's okay, man.
You can jump in at any point in time if you want to say anything.
All good, brother.
We do want to, before we introduce our guest, we do want to have a little thank you to our fans. It's not like we go around looking for these things. Sometimes these
people
things
send me lah.
Yeah, these things get shared with us.
We're not so like we buy, right? We go and search ourselves. No,
I mean,
it's just like people.
You're not. I do sometimes.
People send me stuff. Okay.
Yes. Okay. So we were sent a thread from the Ask Singapore Reddit, and so we just wanted to say thank you to some fans who were there. Someone was lamenting the state of podcasts in Singapore.
Yep.
And our fans, as it turns out, they some people might have like joined in and like, podcasting, and which I suppose some people have valid points. Our fans, however, very positive. They use this as an excuse to recommend to other listeners Ghost Maps.
Yeah.
So we just want to say thank you to, and I'm quite sure I'm going to mispronounce at least one of your usernames.
Confirm one.
Yes, the first one definitely. So thank you to Beck PFE One Thing Echt.
Yeah, that sounds German.
That's one name. Okay, just so you all know, that's one name. Cham Cham Potato.
That's easy.
Yeah, nice.
That's easy.
I wanted to say that with a straight face. I really tried.
No, do it again.
Wait. Cham Cham Potato.
Next one is having a midlife. Can I try the last one?
What? Okay, go.
Schizolucy.
Dude.
Is schizolucy?
No.
Schizolucy.
Yeah.
Well,
we both each mispronounced at least one. So there we go. And any other users who we might have missed out, thank you for the shout out. Now finally on to the guest.
Yeah.
Our guest today is Ao Cheng. Ao Cheng is a musician and content creator. He also helps other musicians become better versions of themselves through gears and lifestyle changes.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, man.
Thanks for having me, guys. Thank you for having me.
How are you doing today?
Fantastic, actually. I woke up with a very good night's sleep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad one of us did.
Wait,
yeah.
Before we move on, right? Are we pronouncing your name correctly?
Yes. Oh, absolutely correctly.
Okay, good.
Because I used to have this problem with my name, and people mispronounce it all the time. Like, were you having difficulties in the first place?
No.
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 Straight away you know it's Ao Cheng.
Yeah.
How do you know it's Ao Cheng?
I was unsure like whether if I was right or not.
I literally, before you got here, I checked with him. It's Ao Cheng, right?
Yeah.
And he's like,
Yeah. So perfect, man. You got it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
You got it.
Yeah. So now you when you guys meet him in real life, that's how you pronounce the name. Please.
That's when, not if.
Yeah,
when you meet him in real life.
Yeah. The interesting thing is because my name got 3 surnames. It's like Su, Ao Cheng. It's like any one of them can be a surname. You realize?
Oh, yeah.
And nobody actually knows my surname. Not many people know my surname. Then people will always assume that, this is Mr. Ao.
That's what I thought.
There we go.
That was like, there's a name missing here.
Yeah. And my surname is actually Su.
Yeah.
There we go.
I knew lah, but now that you pointed it out, it can be 3 surnames.
By itself, right?
Yeah, you should add that into your bio. My name can be 3 surnames.
No, I feel like I should make a video about this somewhere in the future, maybe. I don't know.
Your 3 surnames.
Yeah, 3 surnames. Yeah, everything comes in 3s.
See, that's the content creator part of you thinking right now. It's like, there's a video in this.
Crazy, right? Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, there was one point in time where every conversation with Carl was, actually, this one can be podcast as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a good conversation, to be honest.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
That's a good conversation.
It gets the ball rolling.
No, by the way, like you guys are on the audio version, right? Like Cheng's voice is good, right? Like he should start a podcast, right?
It is.
Yeah, because we're hearing it like, wow, very bassy.
Really?
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No, but it's like it's the right kind of bassy. It's not like, yo, man. It's the
it's a good enough.
What kind of podcast you listen? Yo, man.
I feel like it's a late night podcast you're listening to. I don't know why.
Yo, man.
I was just, it's not what I said, it's how bassy I could get my voice.
Yeah.
And I don't know. But yeah, it's the right kind of bassy. It's very soothing kind of bassy.
It's good. I think this is not the first time that I heard about my voice, but you are pointing it out, so it's very important.
No, I'm not voice authority. I'm just like,
But it's interesting.
He does have sensitive ears.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Very sensitive ears.
Yeah.
My ears very sensitive, easily offended.
You to be fair, you were very offended by how much I would laugh into the mic when we first started doing this. So there you go.
But it's a good learning point though.
It is.
Yeah.
So much so that if I appeared on the radio like once after we started the podcast.
Yeah.
And I remember sitting around thinking to myself, okay, don't screw this up. Carl will get very angry if you screw up on people know you from a podcast. If you screw up on national radio, he don't know where to hide his face. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm like,
So did you?
a little bit.
Okay.
I kept looking down when I was supposed to speak.
Oh.
No, I was listening in live. I think I thought it was fine.
Okay, good.
Generally, I think the sound engineer got fixed lah.
Yeah.
I mean, you're in a radio station.
That's
Confirm
true.
They will
That's
fix.
Some kind of fixing.
Yeah,
Yeah, but I think the mic plays a part also.
Yes.
I feel like we should almost like, that's a perfect segue. It's like, well, it's easy to sound good when you have audio technica mics.
Yeah, but just a segue, like Cheng and I go way back. Like when I say way back, it's like about 11 years back. I think I first met him in 2011. Can say, right?
You met me in 2011, man.
Yeah.
I feel like you're like, did you?
I feel like it's way back, but okay.
Is it?
I don't know, man.
I think it's 2011.
And how did we meet again?
Yeah, we met at what is now Funan. I remember. Then we went.
What was last time?
There was another mall. I don't know.
No, it was Funan all the time.
No, as in like before the nice.
Oh, so it was still Funan
It
lah.
was an old Funan.
Then we basically we both have ambitions to become YouTubers at that point, and we were both studying. I think. Then I think we just didn't do it. We went behind the scenes. I think we went music and sound, right? Then I went filmmaking, and then like now full circle. Like Dead Air is where we invite our friends lah. Then I was like, hey, I met him recently again, reconnected, and then we're like, you gotta come on the show.
Yeah.
Where did you meet him again?
City Music.
It was for
a City Music event.
Yeah, see,
look, he like segue for me. Like,
you're welcome.
Okay, shout out to City Music for inviting me to their creator tech showcase to showcase a bit of HANTU and Incredible Tales. So yeah.
I
So
don't know
that's how
why
I met
I'm
him.
pointing to the camera. I wasn't there.
I just saw him at the event. I was like, hey. Then he's like, hey. Then we're like, okay.
And then we went kopi.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
That
best.
sounds about right.
First thing I asked him, go story.
He's so business-minded. I love it. Like you are so full of content ideas all the time. Amazing.
I'm not sure where the business mind for him ends and where the horror fan begins sometimes.
So you're actually a horror fan?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
dude.
I love horror, dude.
Oh wait. Wow. Damn. Okay.
I wasn't even a horror creator until
Really?
I met him.
Yeah. Yesterday I was like doing some admin work. I was just watching Train to Busan back to back. Both Train to Busan and Peninsula.
I haven't seen that one yet.
Oh,
I've seen Train to Busan, but not
Not bad. Not bad. Yeah. But yeah, anyways, just show like I'm into horror.
yes.
Yeah. Horror fan.
Okay.
Horrific.
I have to ask. People. Yes, this is a horror podcast, but horror can mean a lot of things. Horror can essentially boils down to the scariest stuff in life. And if you ask me, there are a few things scarier than being an artist in Singapore.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I bet you some in the audience will. Yeah. Why do you want to be a gigging musician?
Oh.
I sound like such a disappointed Asian parent when I ask that. I don't mean to sound that way, but
I love this question because like I question myself halfway through music. I'm like, why am I doing music? I have no idea. Why am I like, you do a certain thing for a long period of time, then you kind of like reach the burnout stage, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes you kind of question yourself and then you refine yourself in that environment. So, but a little backstory about me is because I grew up with music. I grew up with a lot of music around me. So naturally that will be a progression. I started to learn the electone organ. I don't know whether you know the 2-tier organ thing when
I do.
Is it the ones that they always show in the horror movie?
Dude, that's
not so classic, right?
yeah,
It's
that's
more the
that's like the pipe organ.
Oh.
But this one is the electone organ, so you can have a lot of different sounds and you can play the entire songs with just your hands and your legs. So I started with that.
Wow.
So that was like in my primary school, and then I was also in a brass band in primary school, so I was playing the trumpet. Yeah, I was playing trumpet.
Wait, are you classically trained?
No, I'm not. I
But you
tried.
just learn.
Yeah, so like I went to Yamaha when I was young.
Yeah, okay.
Then for a while, then after I just sort of gave up lah, in that sense. So I was playing the trumpet for a while. I was in a brass band, and then in secondary school I started to learn erhu. You know
Not
erhu?
easy, that one. That one's
Hang on.
hard.
So you went from the organ to the trumpet to erhu.
Yeah.
What was the thinking?
yeah.
That's
Actually, that's
I was in the environment lah. I was in the environment.
okay.
Was it like a
everybody else.
CCA kind of thing?
No, it was like an external and
Wow.
like curriculum thing that
Wow.
when I was growing up I was part of lah.
Wow.
So eventually I stopped that and I got to the guitar, and then I was intrigued by electric guitar. And then from like 15 years old in secondary school,
Yeah.
you kind of like experiment with that, play a bit of band stuff, and then it really started to pick up in poly onwards. From poly onwards, actually. Yeah. So and then like my career just poof from there. Yeah.
It's gonna sound like I'm joking, but I'm not. But like for you, when it comes to because it sounds like you've learned a couple of instruments. Was it I'm trying to find my own sound, or was it like Pokemon where you try to catch them all in terms of instruments?
Wow. Oh, you need to. Wow. I need to activate that childhood memory part of me. Horror. Is it the horror we're talking about? No, it's not. Yeah, I think at the point in time, it's really It's not really experimenting. When I come to think about it, when I was primary school, right? I think it's really trying to just be interested in music.
Right.
And then like my parents sent me to play the organ because I was like, hey, I want to play because I saw my cousin playing that organ thing. And then trumpet is because for some reason I was drawn to music when I was young. And then they placed me in trumpet lah.
I have to ask the traditional Asian question. Were they supportive of it?
100%.
So they were the ones that were encouraging you. It wasn't like, oh, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And
Nice.
Yes. So they were 100% supportive when I say I want it. They sort of push me. I also think it's because like they kind of know that my life is around artistic stuff. You know, Swan
Okay.
So my
Feng Shui, Geomancy and stuff.
yeah, I was like,
So my mom did kind of calculated that, or like she's already informed that I'll be in this path.
when you said Swan Ming, I thought it's just another friend of yours.
Oh, Swan
I was
Ming.
like, how many people?
How do you say Swan Ming in English?
Geomancy, yeah.
Oh, okay, there we go.
Oh, okay.
Whatever he said.
Yeah, that makes a bit more sense. I was like, how many of your friends you're going to bring into this conversation?
Oh yeah.
Now I feel left out. No, that is really quite interesting. It's very rare that you see parents encourage kids to go into the arts.
At that point in time?
At that point in time, I mean, now I suppose more so. Okay, as somebody who has been in music for a while, have you noticed a shift in terms of attitudes?
Yes, I have definitely noticed a shift because I see the emerging artists, the new artists that comes out. I think they have a very different vibe around them, and I see a lot more like buskers around. That is a very, very different landscape when you compare to 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I think it's the upbringing for sure.
That's good. That's interesting. Like, I mean, driving back to the supernatural, right? You see, in an alternate reality, if let's say your mom didn't believe in geomancy, then you probably wouldn't have pursued music.
Yeah.
So
Probably.
technically, the spirits help. I'm not saying ghosts. I'm saying like, you know, geomancy is all about that spirituality and like the numbers, the calculation.
I respect how much the two of us always manage to tie it back somehow to the supernatural.
No, it's like, it's not we choose the supernatural. The supernatural choose us.
Ooh.
It's like we are in this already. We just might as well just make the best you out of it.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think it could be. So I didn't believe in the supernatural when I was growing up until 2 years ago. So the turning point was when I got introduced to this feng shui guy lah. Basically, this feng shui guy is like this is like the first time I met you,
Right.
all right? And then we set a meeting because I was quite intrigued about the whole like, why is your life determined by a chart? Why? Just based on your birthday, your birth time, and you can kind of plot your life in that sense. So I set an appointment with this guy through Zoom. And I imagine this, right? When I was like on Zoom with you, the first thing you asked me, he was like, Cheng, can I ask you, do you have any encounter with the supernatural? That's the first question he asked me. I'm like, I was stunned. I definitely stunned. I was like, what are you talking about? And deep down, I kind of know it. myself because of the experience that I have. And suddenly, like all the experiences, the past experiences that I had, I thought was just hallucination, it started to come back again.
Right.
That's the first question he asked me. So I was like, I was shocked for a while, and then I got back, and then I was like, actually, I think I do. Then he was like, yeah, it's on your chart. I'm like, huh? What do you mean? He said, the reason why I can feel all these things is because there's a presence of a rooster energy, rooster in the zodiac. So, my brother is born in the year was the rooster. So I do have this encounter. And then like when I think back, right, the first encounter that I had was in army camp. I don't know what. I know it's very stereotypical. I know, but it's in army camp. Yeah. So I was in army camp, in Jurong camp. So Jurong camp, I was doing this thing called COS, right? It's Company Orderly Sergeant. And then I was doing the weekend duty. You know, normally people do guard duty. They are all situated at the guard room there. I was in Koi line. I was in Koi line. I was in bunk. And I was in the office. So the whole day I'm just in the office, just doing admin or just waiting for phone calls. So it was weekend, nobody was in the building. And then during night time, I just like, okay, finish already, just go and shower, go up to my bunk. My bunk was at level 3.
Okay.
And then level 3, go upstairs, and it doesn't help because I was staying in an 8-man bunk. Right. It was huge. It was huge, 8-man bunk.
Right.
And I can see the corridor, right? The windows, last time the window just like...
And
then you can see outside.
And
then you can see the outside. And then it's lit, right? The outside is kind of lit. So you can glance out to see who's coming in. So, but that's not the point. And it also doesn't help when I'm situated at the end of maybe the camp, where the back of the area is just all the forest. It's just adding on to the vibe. Yeah, it's quite scary to be alone. And at that point in time, I wasn't scared. I was just like, okay, anything. Like, I still feel a bit of like this heart thing going on. And then went out to the bunk, showered and everything, decided to, okay, just play some game and fall asleep. And then I started to sleep. And then I got kind of woken up in that sense. I suddenly just opened my eyes, and then, like blurry eyes, right? And on top of my head, instead of looking at the ceiling fan, because I had a ceiling fan.
Right.
You're on the top bunk?
Third floor. So
as in like you're on the upper decker of the bunk.
No, my bunk was just single bed.
Single beds,
yeah.
right? Okay.
So when I look up, it's definitely a fan, right? I'm very used to that, the fan. So instead of looking at the fan, I suddenly saw this like, this weird ghastly thing, like it's just on top of me. And it's like what do you call it? Like, people draw ghosts in cartoons, right? They always have this cloak looking thing, like Casper or something like that, right? But it's not that friendly. But it somehow emerged from that in a very 3D manner. And I remember that my heart was just like pumping and pumping and pumping very crazily. And then I was like trying to see the face, but I couldn't make out the face. So that's when my first encounter, I was like, what's going on? Why got this gas? I thought my eye blur, Then I rub my eye, then I still see it, And it's very scary to me. I remember feeling very scared, and I thought to myself, I'm just thinking, it's just my thoughts. It's just hallucination, right? And then I just cover myself in blanket, and then I just like continue to sleep. And I couldn't sleep. I couldn't sleep for the entire night. And just like trying to not think about it until like maybe a few hours later, I just peep a bit and to see.
So for a few hours, you just like...
Yeah, I was in my blanket, and I was using my phone just to text people, just to talk to people.
Yeah.
And that was like about 1:30 a.m. In the night. That's what I remember. So that was my first very vivid encounter. And then like coming back to the feng shui guy, right? He asked me, the first question he asked me, it was because it was so prominent in my chart that I have a supernatural encounter. And when I think back, right, I was in a Koi line, I was in the bunk, I was in the company building, right? The only other person is the officer, right? Because they have duty officers, right? The duty officer was born in 1993. He is born in the year of the rooster. So remember I said, the reason why he told me that, the feng shui guy told me that my encounter with the supernatural was because there's a triggering factor of a person born in the year of the rooster. And suddenly it made me realize that, so that was real? Whatever I encountered was real? I don't know. So I need to ask you guys. What do you think?
I was going to ask, like, why is the rooster the triggering? Did he say like...
So in those 八字 calculation, right? They have some kind of formula going on. It's like this will trigger this zodiac will trigger that, and it all depends on the day that you're born and the timing that you're born as well. So my timing I'm not gonna say what time.
Yeah.
So my timing somehow clashes with the supernatural side of rooster energy. So I'm like, okay, yeah. So I don't know what I saw.
Probably saw a spirit lah.
Is it? Is that what you consider a spirit?
Okay.
Yeah.
So we take it back.
Yeah.
So you were alone on the 3rd floor.
Yes.
The officer was staying in level what?
Level 2.
Level 2.
The officer bunk.
So only 2 of you in the entire company.
Yes.
Wow.
I never tell any of my bunkmates actually because I was quite scared because I don't want to,
Did that thing have a face?
No, I couldn't see the face.
It was just like smoke lah.
Yeah.
Like smoke lah.
Did it have like, so there's no particular shape to it?
So it's like the head of a person wearing a cloak. That's all I can describe. And it came out from the wall behind me. So it's just like...
So you're lying this
down,
way.
yeah.
Then it came out like that.
Yes, correct.
So it's kind of like the head like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's quite scary because
It is.
It's like
just came out of
ghastly.
nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's like ghastly, and I thought I was dreaming, And that's the scariest part. I thought I was dreaming.
But then you realized that you were awake.
Yeah, I was
Because after
so
you
awake,
saw already,
yeah.
then you
Yeah.
like that. Then you use your phone.
Yeah. At that
least
point in
you
time,
had your phone, bro.
At that point in time, there was no smartphone allowed in the bunk.
Time.
Yeah.
So wait, so when you finally peeked out of the blanket, was it still there or?
No, it wasn't. Yeah. So it was all.
But you can't sleep already lah.
I cannot sleep already lah.
So what did you do?
I just text my friends, whoever that was awake on a Saturday night.
Nice.
Yeah. So You
didn't tell them lah. You just
I didn't tell them. I just talked to
them.
I remember. I think I called someone and said, "Can you talk to me?" Something like that.
Nice.
And then the moment my duty ends, right, I just like straight away just pack everything and just ciao.
Well, were you sick after that? No.
No, I wasn't.
Yeah.
Why?
No, because normally when you have
I like how worried you sound like, wait, why?
Why?
No, do you not know like when you encounter spirits,
Uh-huh.
then there's a high chance that you fall sick.
Wow.
But is it only malicious spirits or any spirits?
Any spirits. Different energy. Ma. But maybe his constitution is strong.
Yeah, it could be.
Spirits affect people on different levels.
I was reading somewhere that apparently those who, if you are a non-believer or you are a very strong believer, apparently you're less susceptible to, I could be wrong lah. It's one of the many things I read online. Apparently if you're a non-believer or you're a strong believer, you're less susceptible to spirit. Not say attacks lah, but encounters. So maybe that's why for you it was like, because at that point in time, like you said, you weren't like,
I wasn't a believer.
Yeah.
For sure. I kind of feel like there is some kind of thing in the different realm lah, for sure.
But you haven't heard anything from your camp, right? From your bunkmates, they didn't tell you, hey, got ghost, bro. This bunk got ghost, no.
Yeah.
So then there's no preconceived notion that it's haunted.
Yeah.
So it came out of nowhere. Like literally came out of nowhere, right?
What did you think it was when...
Hallucination, dreaming. I was just
fair enough.
Yeah, I was just like seeing things lah. That's all I can think about, because like it doesn't resonate with any like ghost images that was like fed into my head. It doesn't look like anybody wearing a cloak and standing there with the hair cannot see the face kind. But I do realize that it's a bit like a figure head, like a head figure. That's all I know lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, to confirm it, because there was also only one time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it could be nothing.
Yeah.
There was another time, still the same thing. Like same thing happened, and I was quite scared lah. I had another COS duty, which is on a weekend also. Like I remember it was a Friday night or something. Same camp. Yeah.
Okay.
Same camp, and this time round, because our company have 4 levels, right? So I was on the 3rd level. And at that point in time, my camp was in this lull period. Like nobody, no new intake coming in. Then 4th level is actually very empty lah. So there was once just 2 of us in the office again, just me and the officer. And when I was lying in bed, instead of like seeing the thing, right, now about I think 2 or 2:30 a.m. in the morning, I suddenly heard last time the metal chair, the chair that you see in the bunk. Yeah, it dragged across the room, like from the
4th floor.
4th floor.
So you were in your bed.
I was in my
on the 3rd
in the
floor,
room, yeah.
And then you heard someone drag.
Yeah, just like that.
Wow.
And then I'm like,
Okay.
Yeah,
But were you alone in the bunk?
I was alone in the camp.
Same officer also.
Same officer.
Did he hear it?
I don't know because I never asked.
How did you reason out this one?
I don't know. I really don't know. So this is
creepy.
This is
That
creepy.
is creepy.
Because there wasn't anybody. There was no new intake until like next month.
Yeah. Because the metal chair is a very distinctive sound.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't argue, right? You can't argue that this is like the HDB, the concrete expanding,
Yeah.
the marble sound. You can't argue that.
Yeah.
How?
It's the whole from the end of the bunk to the other end of the bunk. It's the old plastic blue color chair with the metal legs
The primary school, secondary school kind of chair. lah.
without the rubber stopper.
Yeah. I hate that when people drag that.
Yeah.
But like, I gotta defer to Cheng because Cheng's ears are well trained musician ears. So you confirm can hear the difference one.
Yeah.
Like that's why right, I'm not easily spooked when I hear like weird sounds at night. I can distinct. Okay, this one's not ghost. This one is probably like something because it's so far away.
Wait.
That if it's like dragging like then
I have the opposite advantage of you. I'm quite deaf.
That's good, bro.
So the ghost really has to work very hard to
Very
scare
hard.
me. Because he's like, is he not, am I not frightening him or is he just cannot hear me?
Wow.
Yeah.
It's a very distinct sound.
So
for sure.
so what happened then after that?
Dude, my hair stands, yeah.
Yeah.
That's for sure. It's entire, like, it doesn't make sense at all. I was in bed again. I was in bed, and then the whole thing happened.
Okay, here's what. So you say that, and I'm sure we'll get to this eventually, but you say that like, it's only after you met the feng shui specialist that you started to realize, all this is super. So how do you reconcile what happened with
The chair one?
the chair one in particular? Like okay, at the very least with the shape, yes, hallucination maybe you wake up then your eye a bit like seeing it or what, I don't know lah. But the chair, if it's such a distinct, and you weren't even asleep at the time, right?
Well, I wasn't.
That's even worse.
Yeah.
Or you were like messaging or something.
I was
like-
messaging. I was just minding my own business.
Yeah. Maybe the ghost is like, this guy is back. Let me go disturb him.
Yeah.
I didn't get him last
Or
time.
maybe they were there. Then, like, they were already there.
They
And
confirm one.
then the triggering point is because
You're in their space.
I'm in that space. I don't know what they are doing, and the triggering point could be my officer who's born in the year of 1993 or
Yeah.
that could be the reason too. So at that point in time, I was very scared. I remember like texting, trying to text people and trying to call people, just to accompany me. I was even thinking of just going out to go and find my officer at that point in time. So yeah, it was. I cannot explain that because there's nobody upstairs.
So how did you like
yeah.
manage to go through? Like go through that night?
I never left. I just stay in bed.
Oh, you didn't? Oh.
Yeah. I still heard for a while. Like the metal chair was one thing, and then the cupboard thing. You know the cupboard.
Shake.
There was somebody like just opening and closing the metal cupboard
In your
upstairs.
Upstairs.
Yeah. So it's level 4 bunk. So you know the old metal cupboard that we used to have for NS. Yeah, I heard somebody opening and closing 2 times. That's all.
Like at the same time or like after a while?
After a while.
see, that's okay. That's what I don't get. Like this is all. If you can't find a reasonable explanation for it, that's one thing. But you still don't believe until you meet the feng shui master.
Yeah.
How come?
Because
I have to ask. Like,
because
how
to
come?
me it could be, I don't know, man. It could be me thinking things, or like I could be overthinking certain things. Maybe it could be, but the metal chair I really cannot explain. Because to me that was a very distinct thing. And I even tell myself, maybe the person from next bunk or next company line, they came over just to disturb people.
Could be.
Could be guards, you know?
Yeah.
Could be the guard duty people who just came out and just like decided to screw with everybody. But I couldn't see anybody come out from the bunk. I couldn't see anybody coming out from the staircase. That's all. I cannot explain that for sure.
Then after that happened, did you like at least tell your...
No. I never tell anybody.
No.
I never tell anybody.
Why not?
I never tell anybody except the people that are close to me at that point.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they were like, oh my God, that's so freaky.
No, but like, so even till then, nobody said anything. Like not even your
No.
koi mates.
No, nobody.
Wow.
Nobody.
Did you tell the officer at least?
No.
No.
I wasn't close to him. So
Oh, interesting.
yeah, he was a new officer.
Plus later on you find out it's all his fault also.
Cool.
No, but okay.
Could be.
So after the feng shui master told you all this, right? Then you're like, oh my god, it clicked.
Yeah, and then I started to experiment.
What do you mean experiment?
Okay.
This is whoa, this was a left turn.
Yeah.
Right?
Like what did you do? You go cemetery or?
So no. I'm not that kind of person that goes to cemetery or try to invite spirits to come and talk to me.
Okay.
Because my own brother is born in 1993.
Right.
So we stay in the same environment, right?
Right.
Over the years, I do have some kind of like feeling that something's watching me when I'm sleeping. I remember quite vividly. One is when I moved into my new place, right? This HDB, my wardrobe doors was not fixed yet, so I can see all the clothes.
Yeah.
I remember one time that I thought I saw a figure, small figure, like childlike figure, sitting on top of my pile of clothes, staring at me.
Jesus.
So that's my first encounter, and then I'm like,
were you asleep?
no, yeah, I was asleep, and then I got up, lor. For some reason, I got up.
But you remember that you were awake.
I remember I was
it the
awake.
blur kind
it's
of
like
thing?
blur. It's quite blur because
Then you see
sleep
a
already.
child.
Yeah, I see a figure. And much later, my mother told me that about certain stories about a child in her life. So I was like,
Oh,
I was like, okay, that makes sense. That made sense.
I get it.
And then like it could be my older sister, for example. Okay, so she didn't make it in this world. So that was her. And then my mother did all those like buying her clothes, buying her books to try to invite her away lah. So that was my first encounter when I was like
in that house.
Yeah, in that house. And the feng shui master told me this, right? I started to recall all these things. And over the years, for the last 2 years, more so the last 2 years, I've been trying to identify when my brother's in the same environment as me. When I sleep, I do have the awareness that okay, something might happen, right? And then I have been actually only last week. I just told my girlfriend this. Just last week, I was sleeping, as usual. I opened my eyes and then I saw this on my right side, very towering figure, black color, towering figure. It feels like a silhouette of a Batman, like a Batman. Last time the Batman, but without the horns lah. So this fella was just like standing over me all the way from my bed all the way to the ceiling, and then he was just like, I don't know he or she, just like over looking at me,
just watching you.
But for some reason I cannot see the face. So this time round, instead of covering myself with a blanket, I sat up and stared at this thing for a while. I was like, I cannot figure out this.
And
what is it?
The room is completely dark at this point.
Yeah, it's complete except for some moonlight that came in.
So is your door open or closed?
Closed. Yeah.
You sleep alone, right?
Yeah,
you
I
sleep
do.
alone.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yes.
So you actually saw it.
Yeah, I actually saw it this time. So because
did he say anything?
Huh?
Did he say anything?
No, it doesn't. It doesn't make a sound. It's just like, I'm just watching you.
What's the sense you get from it? Like,
Yeah.
like I
Do you
guess,
feel that it's like good or evil or
especially now since you I won't say confront lah,
Okay.
but at least face it.
I cannot sense I'm not there yet. I don't think I'm there yet to sense like what they are feeling, but I know what I was feeling. Same thing, my heart like suddenly just popped, started pumping again. And it's very interesting because like now I have this podcast with you guys. It's like everything just falls in place.
circle, right?
Yeah, it's fall in place. And then you were saying like whether am I a spiritual person? I think because from here onwards, I feel like I could be more receptive to all these things around me. And I think it's crazy.
no? So like we established the timeline. The first time you saw something, right?
Now we sound like a true crime podcast. We established the timeline.
There we go.
No, a horror podcast, but true crime perspective, right? So the first time you saw something was the smoky thing that looked like Casper, right?
Yeah.
Then after that was the dragging of the metal chair.
Yeah.
Then it was the
child
spirit. That was after NS already, right?
That was, wait, let me think. No, that was actually before because it's very, very long time ago.
this is
I thought like
Even when you say very long time ago, like when you were a kid,
in secondary school.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
when
the
we-
wardrobe is not done lah.
Not
then
done.
There's someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
And to me, I just brush it off lah because
Yeah.
like I could be hallucinating. That one is very clear as a.
But
could
then
be.
you did tell your mom. Then she
No.
told you.
I didn't tell my mom
Then
until
she told you
until recent years.
Like, but then she's explained to you lah. That
Yeah.
what was it?
Yeah.
So can I ask, is your house like got religious objects or not?
No, don't have.
so your whole family is
Not religious.
Not religious.
We used to be, and then only after we moved to the new house we are not.
Oh.
Then, yeah. So it's very funny because I never tell my mom about this. She just one day she was like, 你没有觉得 Can I speak Mandarin?
Yeah. I'll translate.
She came to me. She was like, 你没有发现到有没有感觉到有一个小孩子在我们家里
Do you feel the presence of a child in your house?
You know, when you said that, what I should have done was look down and pretend the subtitles are here.
Yeah. So
Yeah. She just came.
That's out of nowhere,
Random, bro.
That's out of
So
nowhere.
literally, she just.
Wow.
It's like we're just having like our moment
And
in
this
the
is
kitchen.
fairly recently.
Only recent years, I would say.
So you still saying that very same house?
Same.
Then your does your brother know or not, or about all your
No.
this? Then is he like a sensitive guy, or is he like the?
I think he might not believe me.
Oh,
That's a
so
truth.
you knowing him that he's not a believer lah.
Yeah,
in that sense.
my entire family, I don't think we
But
are.
somehow
that-
being
yeah.
with him supercharges this thing
Yes.
lah.
So I experiment, right? When he's not around, when he's not at home sleeping, I usually can sleep
Better.
peacefully, like just throughout. But most of the time I can.
Okay.
Yeah. So I did experiment like it's still a 60-40 thing whether he's the one. Yeah. But the theory stands lah.
Okay. So I'm going to bring it full circle, guys. Bring it full circle. Just now, Cheng asked me about the perspective of what the feng shui master said, right?
Right.
So I can say that probably true, because you know why? Because I'm also a rooster.
Oh yeah.
The fact that you're on our show and we're talking about supernatural, it means that there's some attraction with the supernatural when you're with the rooster. I'm not saying that you go home later, you cannot ghost or anything.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that thanks, Kyle. I'm just saying that like there may be some truth. Like it could be, I mean, it can be very personal. Like when there's spirits or something that's following someone, it may not be following you. It may be following your brother, and then it may be asking you, hey, you go and tell him.
Huh?
Maybe his path is very strong. You cannot get close to him, then get close to you. You know what I
is it?
mean?
Oh.
That thing.
You mean-
it's just a different perspective.
Ah.
Because I don't want to get too involved in that sense. Because when you get too involved in something that's spiritual and that's very personal, the spirit might come after you. So that's why there's some justification in feng shui masters' fees is for them to. They are by right. It's for them to block away all this negative
so
energy, because they are not supposed to get involved because it's already preordained. It's like you're getting involved in fate.
Yeah.
Something that's already happening. So they can't tell you too much. 天机不可泄露嘛.
Yeah.
So they can't tell you too much about the heaven secret. So perhaps there is some truth in it. I think you just need to go and dig more about it. I'm in no way a spiritual master. I'm just from someone who, studies supernatural and do this for a living. I feel like that's my perspective lah.
Yeah. Now
That was very uncomfortable.
Now the thing is I'm very intrigued to know, number one, about all these things for sure. Like how do I talk to them? How do I feel?
Yeah,
Don't.
no. Why?
mean-
Why would you want to?
Because I think at some point in my life I did ask them to just like go away, because for the past 2 years I've been kind of like being more aware about this, and I do have encounters here and there in my own room lah. So at one point I was just very tired. I was just like, can you stop disturbing me? And I just like went to fall asleep.
But this happenings, right? Like, do you find them increasing this couple of years?
I don't think it's increasing. It happens once in a while. So, it could be once every 2 weeks, or suddenly like 1 week.
So
yeah.
is it only happening when you're at home?
Yeah. Elsewhere I don't find it. I don't.
So it could be a case of the house.
No,
Really?
but then also he's during the camp.
Yeah.
No, but that one, okay lah. Only
Camp
that two
Yeah.
in the camp, right? Then you
Yes.
never kena anything outside, right?
No, I don't think so.
No, right?
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So then I think I mean again, I'm not a spiritual master, but it's more of like you put it from a true crime perspective, like you're investigating a crime.
Yeah.
And then
makes
like,
sense.
see, that's the breadcrumb. So it's the house.
Yeah.
I'm not saying your house is haunted. I'm just saying there seems to be a higher chance of you getting supernatural events at your house.
Yeah.
I'm just going to leave it as that.
Yeah.
Whatever you need to do, you have to do. We can talk about it off air.
Wow.
If you were thinking of moving, I guess now you've got the best justification.
All
for
I
it.
can say is like when you're talking about them, they are listening lah. Like
Yeah.
as we do this supernatural show, they are listening lah. So best not to talk about all this in front of them. But then again, they are always around.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's more of respect, right?
Yeah.
I would say that for people who are curious, even you, don't talk to them. Because you see, if you're a spirit, right? And then you've been roaming this earth for like 10, 20 years, 50 years, 100 years. And then you want someone to deliver your message. But then it's about energy. This person's energy is not with you. This person's 八字, feng shui numbers is not with you. So you can't communicate. Then somehow this bugger can talk to you and you can see you. You confirm will ask this person to help you. Then it may cause a lot of issues. So that's why when people say, when you see something supernatural, something weird, you hear something, don't ignore. Buat bodoh.
Can I just step in and say that this bugger has got to be the most uncle thing I've ever heard you say. This bugger.
So
Eurasian uncle flashbacks.
So that's my perspective lah.
Yeah.
Okay, so just I share lah. I recently went to KL for a concert and to collab with Renegade Radio as well as Yamcha Sessions to meet a couple of Malaysian friends as well. Then I stayed in a hotel, relatively new. Something happened. I just told my wife only. First night, I sleep. Then I told her, don't switch off the light. I have a sense about this kind of thing. Don't switch off. I said, don't switch off the light. Just we leave one light on. Don't switch off the light. Then I was already asleep. I was super tired. And someone pulled my leg, bro. Like literally, someone pulled my leg. Like I can
wife
feel
lah,
it,
bro.
No, my wife snoring.
No.
Like pull my leg. Then I like that. I jerk up, and then cause I'm very sensitive lah. So this is, I'm not saying normal. This is something that I'm kind of used to already. So I just
someone pulling your leg.
No, first time. I just look. Don't care. Go back sleep.
But you can see
Cannot see.
Oh.
Well, but of course you look what.
Yeah.
For my first thing is intruder. Someone came into my room. I didn't know.
You will look.
But I like sleeper. So I look. Then I look because to me it's that I'm sleeping. Why are you disturbing me? Like hello. It's like this is too much Yeah.
Do you say that though?
No, I never say that. I just it's in my mind. It's like I never disturb you. Why you come and disturb me?
Yeah, that's
right?
true.
Then I just look. I have the right of the way. Then go back sleep. That's just bodo. Just don't care. Because obviously they want a reaction. So I'm not going to give it to them. So I just sleep.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I got 2 questions.
Yeah. Sure. Go ahead.
The number 1 question is, is it okay if I tell them, like, don't disturb me? Like, legit?
Yeah. You
It's
just
okay,
tell
right?
them,
Don't
I
disturb
never
me.
disturb you. Please do not disturb me.
Okay. That's okay, right?
Like respectfully lah.
Yeah.
Unless you are like super that kind like
Abeng
all
voice,
the vulgar come out. But then you meet one that is very
Stronger
fierce,
than you.
You're
Yeah.
done, bro. Yeah. So I will say just I never disturb you. You don't disturb me.
Okay.
It's as good as the knocking kind of door.
Yeah, yeah.
Hotel. It's like I never disturb you. You don't disturb me.
Oh, yeah, knocking. Oh, speaking about that, that's my second question. Like, do you believe in the whole slipper formation thing in the hotel?
Wait, what?
Yes.
Slipper formation.
So it's called Shen Bei. So it's like a winning formation in a sense whereby one your slipper you put one up and one down. It means that it's basically yin and yang lah, like win lah. Like you're winning. If you put flat right, then doesn't. So you one up and one down. So it's a feng shui thing.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do it, sometimes I don't.
Yeah. Because when we go to hotels, right, I kind of have the habit of wanting everything to be neat lah.
Yeah.
You know? And then like some people will say you cannot put your shoes
neatly.
too neat.
Yeah. Because the spirits will go in and sleep onto them and yeah.
You can test it
now
out. then
I
it's
have questions.
Yeah.
So the one up, one down thing, that's only for slippers.
No.
Shoes.
Even shoes are too neat. They say spirits can wear them.
And then for some reason, they say you will wake up to your shoes like messy. We don't take notice.
Yeah.
We don't. So next time you can take notice.
Yeah.
I don't want to.
Why not?
I don't
I
want
tell
to.
you, just put flour. Just put flour, you can
No.
tell already. But
No.
of course, you're gonna charge by the hotel lah.
Well, that, okay,
You take the
that's
cue.
one reason not to do it. Yeah.
Take the cue, bro.
No, but yeah, I guess it's a sense. But I mean, refresher course for everybody, right? For our non-Asian listeners.
There we go.
So these are the things that Asians do for hotel, to protect ourselves from the supernatural. Because hotels, there are a couple of things in the feng shui studies, as well as I think just general mythology like superstitions. Like, first of all, hotels definitely will have death. Be it, by accident or suicide, definitely will have death. And hotels, there is lull period. So empty spaces for a long time, spirits will go in and stay. And a lot of the hotels, they have very dark or dim, close to no light. So that's also another bad thing for the energy. So it's very full of yin energy.
Right.
So what people do is usually they knock the door of the room that they're going into to ask the spirits that we're gonna stay here for a few nights. Can you just not disturb us? And then you open the door, and you don't enter immediately. You open the door, let the spirit come out.
Oh shit.
So that's
Yeah,
one.
I always forget these
That's
things
one
as well.
thing that
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know lah. I think the knocking the door is the bare minimum lah. But
Yeah,
that's
bare
one thing that people do. Let the spirit come out. Then the first thing you should go in, not before you take out your shoe, flush the toilet.
Okay.
I think I don't know what logic is there. Somebody let us know in the comment. There was someone who told me about it. I forgot about what's the logic of that. Then wash your hands, then take off your shoes, and then let the shoes be messy. For me, I let it messy because I'm just lazy. I'll just leave it. I'll just leave it whatever
I can't remember. Are you supposed to leave the toilet lights on or off?
off when you sleep, because you switch off. If you can switch off all the lights,
Okay.
you can switch off all the lights, but never leave the toilet light on, because the logic is if the spirits want somewhere to hide and play, the toilet, and the toilet is usually the most yin energy in the room.
So it's unadvisable for me to leave the lights on anywhere in the room or specifically the toilet?
Specifically the toilet. You can leave lights on anywhere except for the toilet.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah.
I should try to remember.
So that's pretty much it. And then of course, if you are really spiritual, then just bring a spiritual belonging lah. Yeah. So yeah. And of course, if you believe in the whole feng shui, I'm sure you know about this. You have your position.
Yeah.
So everybody has a specific position that they need to be close, which is better for their luck.
Yes.
Stronger for your energy.
Wait.
So for example, it's calculation based on
Yes.
your birth date and your birth hour, right? Perhaps you are the best in northeast. So wherever you sit must be facing the north. Not must lah, east best.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Advisable.
Yeah. So
It's
there is calculation towards that. That's the interesting part about geomancy, because there is mathematical calculation.
Yeah. It's like you are informed 60-80% spiritually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy because I do feel it
insane.
myself.
It's insane. It's
Yeah.
insane. I'm not saying I'm not trying to push it on anybody, but
Yeah.
if you go and read about it, it's damn interesting.
Or just try to read for your life. Oh.
The
See, this is-
mathematics, bro, is
This
crazy,
is
man.
clearly why I cannot be a feng shui master.
Why?
My math's not that great.
Well, bro, it's not even maths. It's just formulas.
Yeah, there's a formula.
Even worse.
No, it's just copy and paste. Now it's
Yeah.
even the feng shui master these days they use app, bro. They
Bro, they got iPad, bro.
They got
Yeah.
app, bro. Got app.
Mine uses an iPad. He just
Yeah.
press this. Oh, this one will trigger. Like that.
Yeah.
He just do that. He doesn't even use
Next
any
time got pie
emotion, bro.
chart. Next time got pie chart.
Yeah.
I'm very curious to know what the app is.
Me too. I've been trying to find out.
Is it like feng shui, but then with all the vowels removed?
No.
know.
It's no, I feel like it's one of those apps, right, that has not been updated since don't know what software. It's
Yeah.
iOS 8, then it's stuck. Even the UI is stuck already.
Yeah.
Best used in
iPad.
Windows Explorer, Windows 95.
Wow. You're revealing your age,
You can
bro.
open that and then open the Space Jam, the old Space Jam
Wow.
website also at the same time.
Wow.
I like how you look like, what the hell is he talking about? Space
No,
Jam?
I know
we
Space
know,
Jam.
we know,
Come
we
on,
know, we
excuse
know.
me. We know Space Jam.
Yeah.
It's just that it's so old.
The reason why we know Space Jam is probably the reason why we know Casper also.
Why? That's true.
I mean, that's the same era, man.
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a
Around
classic.
the same era. Yeah.
Yeah,
should try.
so I mean, after all this experience, right, then are you not scared?
I don't know, man. I don't know what I'm supposed to feel.
Okay, what I'm curious about is how you after visiting the feng shui master, you're more aware of these things happening.
Yes, I am.
And you're still on the lookout for them. You're not hunting them
Not
down,
hunting.
but you're paying more attention to see
Yes.
again, why?
Because I want to prove that it doesn't exist.
Okay.
Because I'm coming from a non-believer, as much as possible, I want to make sure that it's not real. It's not real. I want to tell people 100% confirm it's not real. But
Okay, why is it? Why do you want to prove to people that it's not real?
I don't know, man. Because I feel I just want the kick out of it. It's not necessarily to win an argument, but to just tell people that, okay, this could not be real because of certain factors. But so far, I haven't found any single one that points me to that direction. It's always, yes, there are things around you. So far, yeah.
I think spirits are bound to a place. There's a reason why they are at a specific place. Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think they can travel as and when, unless they are very, very powerful. That's through my understanding lah. But usually they are bound to a place because their time is not up or whatever reasons lah.
Wow.
And this is only spirits. So if like say a Kakpi, for example, is she bound to a certain place or
Bound to a tree, I guess.
I mean,
Could be.
okay.
It could be. Yeah.
So what happens if the tree gets chopped down?
I don't know.
They go to another tree like, hey, bang, can I stay
Somebody's
here?
gonna pay for that, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, somebody's gonna
Oh,
pay for
shit.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Actually, that's a good question. Not necessarily bound to a tree lah. Maybe an area.
Yeah.
Like that's like a usual hunting ground. You know.
Because with all the deforestation that's happening,
That's why.
there's a lot of animals plus spirits,
Yeah.
I like how the supernatural technically now are environmental activists.
We live in a different...
I think there's a film there.
There is an idea there.
There is an idea
there
there.
is an idea.
There is an
I thought
idea
there
there.
was a film already.
No, there's an
Not
idea.
yet.
Yeah, there's an idea there.
Y'all heard it here first, okay?
Yeah,
if anybody else makes a film out of
Let
this,
them do lah. Let them do. They want to go and do. Let them do lah. Whatever lah. Yeah.
it's not like we're not busy enough already.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah.
I think it's a good documentary though.
Who you interview? You put the camera point at the tree. Madam Kapi, can you let me know
What are your thoughts on global warming?
what are your thoughts on the oil companies? Right?
I would love to see the
Actually, that would be quite interesting though. That'd be quite interesting.
Yeah. So I mean,
I wouldn't do it myself, but I'd love to see your response. Yes.
speaking of interesting, right?
Look at your segues today, man. Woo!
Learn from you. Would you ever incorporate elements of horror into your music? Or maybe sounds?
Okay. I love to listen to sound design. I think horror films are there for really, really experimental sound designs and Foley sounds to me. So as much as application into my music, right, I wouldn't necessarily be applying it because 90% of the time I'm performing live music.
Right.
I wouldn't necessarily have the samples or elements of horror into my playing. But I do see and I do appreciate like good sound design in horror films. And I think it's fantastic because it pumps up the audience to that moment lah.
Jumping around a little bit, what's a horror film where the sound design really stood out for you?
Wow. I don't think it's a horror film though.
Oh no, but yeah. What's
I
the
think
film?
Interstellar is one of the best films ever. Yeah, in terms of sound design because they make use of so much silence, and I think silence is such an underrated element in sound.
Yes.
I feel.
Agree.
So I don't watch a lot of horror films per se. I don't think I ever want to watch
I get it.
because I would be studying the sound.
Yeah.
Then I'll be like,
They're not scary already.
turn off to everybody around me.
I do agree with you in that sense where, well, not so much the sound part of
Yeah.
it, but then because now we create horror stories and horror like shows and stuff like that. When I watch a horror movie now, I'm not say dissecting it lah, but I'm looking at it with a more critical lens.
Yeah.
Whereas last time I just wouldn't like, I'm just freaked out by horror, so I would try not to watch horror movies.
Were you freaked out by horror?
Well, I mean, I'm not going to rehash the whole story, but long story short is that when I was a kid, my brother made me watch The Exorcist and told me it was like Terminator.
Oh.
So I was conned into watching horror as a child. But from that point, there's a stretch of my life where I just did not want to watch horror.
Yeah.
And I think that started to change the moment we started doing stuff like this.
Oh, okay.
And now when I watch it, it's not even to get scared, but it's more like,
Studying it.
yeah, in that sense. So I understand when you say like, you don't watch horror because you be focused so much on the sound.
Yeah, I
design.
will. in fact, every movie that I watch, I will be more critical. Like you say, like because I grew up in the environment of like listening to stuff and being trained in sound engineering in that sense. So I'll be more critical for sure. Yeah.
Agree. Yeah, interesting. So the fans, they love ghost stories. So I have to ask.
Yeah.
Do you have any more supernatural stories? Your own experiences? Or like
So
someone
far,
close to you?
I
tell
do
you?
actually. I have a friend who apparently can sense it.
Sense. As in
Yeah.
see or sense?
Okay, I haven't confirmed, but it was recent because she was doing a lot of tarot reading on TikTok Live.
Whoa.
And then she started to do more of the tarot reading, and then she got herself into this, I think the whole supernatural world of like people. I think nowadays people are streaming on TikTok that they are like ghost hunting or like going to places like that and inviting spirits and all this kind of thing. I think she was like just a viewer or so. And I think she can sense it from just watching it. So that also like bump up my belief in the supernatural world, the spiritual world, and not so much about the scary part, but I'm more intrigued about why are they here? What are their purpose? Like what are they trying to tell us, or like how are they feeling? I think that's my surrounding nowadays.
Intrigued lah. You're more intrigued.
I'm more intrigued, but definitely don't come and talk to me about it lah. I mean, whoever.
But I must say,
You're almost asking for it at this
Yeah.
point.
That's why I shouldn't.
I must say, as someone who has done it for like about 5 to 6 years,
Yeah.
If you go into it, right, you tend to attract some.
Yeah.
For sure. It's like you do music, you confirm will have some music fans. It's the same
Correct.
thing.
Yeah.
So you just have to, prepare yourself for it.
Or I shouldn't dive
No,
into
but
it,
like the
yeah.
fact that the Geomancers already said that, wow, I don't know what he's exactly said. Probably something along the lines that you are very in. You have
Actually, yes.
you have that tendency to attract things, or you have that tendency to experience in things. So if that's the case, then you cannot stop it. So it will just happen. Then just let it happen.
I think I couldn't stop it because like it's not the spiritual stuff, but more so of a spiritual journey of my individual self. Because I'm more intrigued about finding out my personalities and all this kind of thing. Like how can I, when I reflect certain things about myself, and it always leads me to a whole spiritual path, but it's not so much where it's 100% spiritual.
Yeah.
It's like 50-50, like 50% mathematical and 50% like spiritual lah. That's what I'm doing nowadays. Yeah, like feng shui is calculated. What there's some kind of formula to it.
I forgot to ask this early on. But I
Yeah.
do want to ask, what made you want to make that appointment with the feng shui master in the first place?
Yeah, actually, a good question.
Yeah, precisely the reason why I was on a discovery. I think it's more like a self-discovery journey.
Right.
So I'm intrigued with the Western and the Eastern kind of like calculations. So in the Western world, we have numbers, we have MBTI, we have all this kind of thing. And then in the Asia part, they believe in your exact birth time and your birthday can determine your entire life path. I'm like, okay, number one, I want to find out what has been happening in my life, what are the lessons I can learn. And then at the same time, I want to know what's my future, right? Because if I know what's my future, I can kind of like tweak it in a way to avoid certain things, right? In a way. So like in a way you're playing with fate, but it's not exactly playing with fate because you kind of know what's going to happen. You're just preventing yourself from doing that. So at that point in time, everything just clicks very well. I was learning about all these things during my free time, and the appointment just nice. I was introduced to this guy. I was like, okay, let's go lah. Let's try it, and then to see how are things.
Interesting.
Yeah, and I found out that I can. I was in the right path. I am still in the right path of doing content creation, of doing music. Based on that, it's not just the spiritual part, because the spiritual part was the first thing he asked me. That was what's intriguing about it. And then after that, he said, "Oh yeah, you can do music, you can do content, you cannot do 9 to 5." That's the thing that he told me. He's like, "You cannot do 9 to 5 lah."
How does he segue from you believe in ghosts or not to actually office job not good for you?
Yeah. So
That's quite the segue.
that's the reason why I love him, because he's just very formula driven. He's just looking at the iPad and just like pressing here, pressing there, and like, oh, okay, this is what you can do, this is what you cannot do. And I was like, no emotions on. It's like there's no emotion on like you. And then like, okay, I think that's fair enough, because I want someone who don't care about how I feel, so that they don't tailor their response to how I feel. I want them to tell me, okay, this is going to happen in your life. This month cannot invest. This month avoid this thing. You know, that's what I have been doing lah. Yeah.
Interesting. Have you ever thought like asking him to go to do the feng shui for your house?
Yes. Not cheap, bro.
I'm sure it's expensive.
Not cheap, bro. So I don't want to do for my current house. If I'm moving out, then definitely I will do. Even now, right? Ever since like studying all these things, right? I choose hotel based on feng shui.
Nice. How you determine?
Mirror, number one.
What do you mean
You cannot.
Sleep in front of a mirror lah.
That's all. That's all.
No,
that's
but
the first thing.
Very rare lah.
That's what. No, a lot of okay, not even mirror. Let's say for example TV. TV is very common in
Facing
front.
you lah.
Yeah.
Not hard to avoid lah.
That's why. So as
you
much as
scared
possible.
Sadako come out?
No leh. I'm actually not scared of Sadaku. I'm actually not scared if something come out.
Not a challenge.
But it's just I don't want to wake up and then I look into the mirror or a reflective surface.
Okay. Why? You got
don't know
experience
leh.
before?
No, but it's more like a upbringing thing about feng shui. It's like a yin and yang. It's the mirror is actually yang energy. Is it a yang or like something that is like more energetic lah? So when you are sleeping in an environment, you should be in the more cozy part. Then you shouldn't be waking up to a
Mirror lah.
That's something that I brought up. That was brought up with me lah as I grow older. Now my bedroom, I don't have anything in front of me. My mirror is actually by the side. I don't even see it. Yeah, it's like the feng shui placement lah of certain things. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, now I'm just thinking about like all those movies last time where they show the stereotypical honeymoon suite, then there's the mirror on top of the ceiling for the couples.
Where are we going with this?
I don't know. Let's steer clear of this. We've kept it relatively PG-13 so far.
Wait. Honeymoon suite with
Like it's very stereotypical lah. The American shows where they have like the honeymoon suite, then like it's the bed shaped like a heart, and then above the bed there's like the mirrors.
Who does that?
Oh, Japan Love Hotel.
Who does that? That's just okay. I'm not talking about like the whole supernatural thing. That's just bad design because like if the thing draw Final Destination, bro.
I'm quite sure. Yes, I think it was Chucky where that happened.
Oh,
spoilers for I think Bride of Chucky. Was it Bride of Chucky? One of those. Where the
glass
mirror,
drop.
Yeah, and then impaled people.
Yeah.
Well,
Final Destination.
I like
bad design, bro.
I like how that's how much of a horror fan you are, where I present this concept to you and that's your first thought, and immediately it's happened in the horror
Even the
movie.
ghost is like, really, bro? Like, really? Like you humans can't think of a better idea. Like, stupid, right?
I mean, you know.
Waterbed. I'm pretty sure the Love Hotel got waterbed.
Yeah.
Right?
I think not just that, a lot of things. You can Google if you want to.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
interesting though. It led you there.
Well, you know, I try not to question how my brain works because then
Yeah.
I'll get a bit worried about
It's
myself.
okay. Let the intrusive thoughts win, man.
Yeah,
Let's go.
I know they always do.
the comments will have a lot of intrusive thoughts. That's
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I want to read them.
So, speaking of intrusive thoughts, we always ask.
In your segues, you're like, go on.
We are always asking this question lah. What are some of your favorite horror books, movies, games, or comics?
Okay.
Anything to do with horror. What's some favorite?
I grew up with I think true Singaporean ghost stories.
True Singapore ghost stories. Yeah, Russell Lee.
Russell Lee. So that was a huge part of my life, and I think that kind of like paint a picture of the spiritual side of me, the belief side lah. At least like, oh, there's a reason why these books are written. So that's a huge part of me.
Yeah.
Growing up, I also don't watch a lot of horror stuff. I try to not watch it because I feel like the people around me, they're always like, oh, I'm very scared, I cannot sleep. I'm like, I like to sleep, so I want to sleep.
I like to see.
Yeah, I want to sleep lah. And then I
Very
don't watch
logical,
lah.
yeah.
So I don't watch lor. And then moving into poly, I just studied sound design, and that's one of the reasons why I don't watch horror films also, because I know okay, this song is what metal and which metal is dragging around each other. I'm thinking about the process, and it's quite challenging lah for me. Yeah.
So for books, it's basically
Russell Lee. Yeah.
True Singapore ghost stories.
Have you ever met this person?
We want to.
I want
but
to.
he's very busy for us.
Right? Russell Lee?
If anybody knows Russell Lee,
I'm glad.
please, we would love for him to come on our show. Yeah.
I'm glad you did that because if not, I would have.
Yeah.
Russell Lee, hit us up, man.
Yeah,
Let's go.
hit us up. Yeah. I that's one of the first things that I've actually read in primary school. Yeah, so we'll go way back.
So all these are true stories, right? I think, from what I remember.
I don't think all of them are personally. I think there is a few real stories lah, because some of them are really out there lah. Yeah, like people die or like if people die right, in Singapore, right, it's hard for you to not go into the news lah.
Yeah.
Yeah. For sure.
You know?
Yeah.
We got a lot of slow news days so I'm just saying. I'm just saying, bro.
That's the argument against supernatural. I mean, if there was supernatural, we won't have slow news days in Singapore, you know.
Exactly. Because some of the stories are like this guy gonna killed by like this spirit and then he got slashed. Quite grotesque one, slashed into a few pieces. Then it's like how if there's a real story, how can that not be in the news? How? You tell me how? Yeah. So that, I mean, that's just my 2 cents.
Maybe the spirits have their own like newspaper. So instead of like Straits Times, it's like the Spirit Times or something like that.
I thought you were gonna come out with a pun.
I was attempting to lah. Honestly, right, this like for the last 10 seconds, right, if you rewind and you look at my face, right, I'm still not.
You're just thinking, right? You're thinking, right?
No.
He always come out with like the best puns, son.
Cannot lah.
HANTU times.
No lah.
Yeah, you see?
The Boo paper.
The Boo paper.
That's the best I got today.
Yeah. Okay.
The Boo times.
Okay. So, this question we ask all our guests.
Okay.
What scares you the most?
Now it doesn't have to.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be supernatural.
All right.
Yeah.
We've had everything. Okay, so our answer is chats.
Lizards.
Lizards. We've had
Cockroaches.
Both of us.
Oh yeah.
We've had everything from like, lizards to like cockroaches. Somebody once said life. So it's a very broad spectrum. So what scares you?
Okay, so yesterday I was reading the thing that you sent me, right? I was like thinking about this question quite a lot. It's like,
This is very deep.
because it's very deep. It's really very deep. It's like almost asking me, okay, what do I want to do after I leave this world? I think the thing that I got to was, in general, I think I'm very scared personally. I'm very scared to be bored. I'm very scared to be like not growing. I don't know, very deep, right?
Yeah.
Like not growing in terms of knowledge-wise, physically and spiritually now lah. And I think like I will be always intrigued to find out more about certain things, musical, maybe in spiritual, health, lifestyle, anything. So I feel like I will be very, very scared if I don't have any progression in my life in any of the aspect.
Actually, that's...
Yeah. That's very scary, right? Can you imagine if one day you see me, right, I'm like, how are you, Cheng? Like that, lor.
Wow. So can I paint you the nightmare? It's like you stuck in a 9 to 5 job against the geomancer's wishes.
Yes.
Stuck in a 9 to 5 job. Have a few kids. Then every day you just go to work, say bye to your kids, then just repeat for the next 20 years of your life.
Routine.
No progression.
No offense to this profession, but accountant.
Yes.
No offense to 9 to 5, but like...
No offense to 9 to 5 or their profession.
Yeah,
and then you see your guitar like
hanging
the
there.
strings already broken, but it's still hanging there.
Yeah.
One cobweb down there.
Wow.
Yeah, daydream.
That's like... Actually,
scary.
that's kind of like my fear also.
Yeah, is it?
Yeah.
I mean, we are creatives,
Yes.
and
Yes.
we are both freelancers.
Yeah.
That for me isn't it's a weird thing for me, and this probably is veering a little bit more into creator territory than horror territory. But for me, there are some days where I think to myself, would it be better for me to just take a normal job and then just enjoy the art? Because like you said, there are points in your creative journey where you're just like, what am I doing?
Yeah.
Where you start questioning everything. And then for me, it's those points where I think to myself, maybe I don't know, not accountant.
I have the answer to why I'm doing music for sure. Because like for maybe 5-6 years of my life, I was playing same songs every single night. It's very boring. So after I took a break, and COVID really helped me a lot in that sense, because I realized that it's not the music that I crave for. It's not the technicalities, performance. I actually love it when I see people enjoying music, and that's what drives me to play music. It's not so much like, I can hit the chord, I can nail the solo. It's not just about that anymore. It's like, because of COVID, I lack the human interaction. Right? Now I realize that there's a newfound direction in my life to do this. And even though it's repetitive, but I realize that it gives me a lot of satisfaction when I see people happy and enjoying to my music. That's what I do.
So would you say that you probably wouldn't do stuff like film scores like that?
No, I
So
wouldn't.
you need to get that immediate reaction.
Yes.
Okay.
It's like if I take out a guitar, we are going to sing some songs that you like. That's all.
That's why creation it works on because he has direct connection to his fans, his listeners.
Yeah.
Same as us.
Yeah.
So that's what keeps me going.
Yeah.
But I mean, to answer your thought, right? I think there's no right or wrong answer. You can only decide for yourself because if you have a 9 to 5 job, then your time with your art gets slower.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then how far you want to take this 9 to 5 job? If you don't take, in Singapore at least, if you don't take it far enough, you're going to get phased out.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
If you don't treat it as a career, you're not going to climb anywhere. Someone might step on you, whatever, right? And it's also an age thing. You can probably do that in your 20s, in my perspective. When you hit your 30s, I think very hard. You have to make it your career. So I think it's all about like balancing. There's no right or wrong answer, to be honest. Yeah. I feel that because I have friends who are in the corporate world and they are artists. I don't think they have enough time for their art, bro.
Yeah.
And honestly, right, an artist, a creative is the happiest when they're just creating.
Yeah. Without any limitation.
Yeah. And it's also like, I guess this extends to a statement. I feel like you really, as a creative that are probably listening or watching this, you need to ask yourself, would you rather starve but survive as a creative that creating full time? Or would you thrive and make a lot of money but do art on the side? That's the difference. There's no right or wrong answer, honestly. So that's what you choose. Yeah. For me, I choose, of course, creating full time
and earn money lah.
You try lah.
Considering where we're sitting right now, I think the choice is quite clear.
Very good.
we try. Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we've. God, I have no idea how long we've been talking, but I think we've had quite the robust conversation.
Yeah, I think it's very good. I think it's a very good balance of, I would say 60% horror,
Yeah.
40% about life and creativity and stuff.
If we talk about like struggling artists in Singapore, then I guess that counts under horror also lah. So maybe 70%. At least 70% stuff that scares you, not necessarily ghosts.
Yeah.
Okay, so to wrap things up, just want to ask you, where can people find you? Online, offline?
All right.
Where are you
Let's go.
performing?
Let's go.
Where are you going to be online? Tell everyone.
Yeah. Okay, you can follow me on Instagram at Ao Cheng and TikTok at Chengpian. That's my pun.
How do you spell those?
Yeah.
Just be clear with me.
Okay, so my name is Ao Cheng, AOCHENG. So you can find me on Instagram at AOCHENG. On TikTok, I'm Chengpian. So Cheng, CHENG, PION.
Nice. I love that name.
Yeah, it took me a while.
Really champion.
Yeah,
It took me a second when you're like, Champion. Is that his like full? No, but then I thought his Chinese name was like, is that his English? Then I got it.
Yeah. It's okay. You
Slow
are
on the
there.
uptake today. Slow on the
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay.
So where else can they find you physically?
Physically, you can see my performances because I do a lot of wedding, live music and events lah. So I will be plugging in my schedule on my Instagram lah, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say like, come crash somebody's wedding, then you can see me perform.
Yeah.
I would. I have a whole theory about that, but that's next time.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Cheng also runs a business for event venue, right?
Oh yeah, I do. I run the marketing side for an events venue.
Okay.
So the events venue is called My Happy Place SG. So it's located in the north of Singapore in the Sembawang area. So if you are staying there, you need an event space, you just let us know. Let me know.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you can look at the images down below and you can see some footages down below, or
Yes.
we'll put it inside this episode. Yeah.
Yep.
Now I really wish I had done that for the subtitles.
Yeah.
Just keep doing that.
Yeah.
It's just like,
Yeah.
I was about to go, hey Carl, can you edit that in there? I was like, no, don't ask him to do anything. He'll kill me.
So yeah, I mean, thank you so much for gracing our show. We really had a lot of fun talking to
Thank
you.
you, thank
and
you.
actually, your stories are quite scary.
Oh, is it?
I must say, for this season is up there.
I think it's interesting because I come from a point where I don't believe, and then I believe a bit, and now I think you can say I'm 80% a believer.
Believer lah.
Yeah.
I think that's what's most frightening about it is the well,
journey.
you think that if you don't believe that, you're safe, but
Yeah. So
that sounded so ominous. Just because you don't believe doesn't
just
mean you're
because you believe.
No,
Yeah,
but
but it's
it will
okay.
lead into our sign off. Yeah, thank you.
You're the segue master today, man.
Wow,
Yeah.
on fire, Carl. Is it the rooster energy?
Probably. So thank you everyone for watching us, listening to us, and good night.
Good night, folks.
And
3, 2, 1. Remember, just because they're stories, it doesn't mean they're not true.
Bye!
Adios, guys!
If you want to stay up to date on HANTU or listen to our other podcasts like Ghost Maps, subscribe now and follow us on social media. You can also be one of our supporters on Patreon. Look for We Are HANTU or click the links in the description. Dead Air is a HANTU production, hosted by Kyle Ong and Wayne Ray, with album art by Jolene Lim, and recorded on Audio Technica mics.